Hey there guys, Mr. Daniels here. Today we're going to be focusing on the ACT and the plan test. The only section we're going to be worrying about though is going to be English. So first thing to address, as you can clearly see, ACT, you will have 45 minutes to do 75 questions. If you're taking the plan test, you will have 50 questions to do over the course of 30 minutes. Now automatically you can kind of see, alright, I've got to pace myself. I can't spend a lot of time on all these questions. So you only have to spend obviously less than a minute per question. Most of these honestly will only take a few seconds to actually answer. So you really don't have to worry too much about the time frame. And remember too, the ACT does not penalize you for guessing. So when you turn in each section, make sure that all your bubbles are bubbled in, because you only get credit for what you get right, not for how many get wrong. So if you don't fill in all the bubbles, you're stealing from yourself. Now, we're going to go over a sample of the ACT, which is just like a sample of the plan test. So we're talking about basic strategies and whatnot. So if you hear me refer to ACT the entire time, it also means the plan test as well. Strategy is the exact same. So first thing, as I talked about in a previous video, read the directions. So directions, in the passages that follow, some words and phrases are underlined and numbered. In the answer column, you will find alternatives for the words and phrases that are underlined. Choose the alternative that you think is best and fill in the corresponding bubble on your answer sheet. If you think the original version is best, choose no answer, which you will always see to be either answer choice A or F. You will also find questions about a particular section of the passage or about the entire passage. These questions will be identified either by an underlined portion or by a number in a box. Look for the answer that clearly expresses the idea, is consistent with the style and tone of the passage, and makes the correct use of standard written English. So, not YOLO, not LOL, or SMH, written English. Read the passage through once before answering the questions. For some questions, you should read beyond the indicated portion before you answer. So, automatically, it's letting you know exactly what you're looking for. In case you couldn't tell, it didn't address spelling, did not address vocabulary. Those two things are actually not in the ACT or the plan test. So scrolling on down, looking at passage 1, we've got this fantastic sounding article called Hair Raising Problems. So first thing we're going to go ahead and notice, all of our questions, they don't have an actual question associated with it. What it is, we're going to look at number 1, because it's obviously underlined and identified. It is going to ask us how could we replace it or if we should keep it the same. Now, know what you're thinking automatically. Okay, well, if I can see 1's right here, 2's right here, and all I'm looking for is grammar stuff, what's the point of even reading the entire passage? All right, let's fast forward a little bit. Oops, so scrolling on down. When we get to question number 15, 14 and 15 start asking you about the entire piece itself in terms of style. So where should you put a sentence? So if your plan is just to skim through and not even read the passage, it's going to backfire closer to the end of the passages. And then unfortunately what will happen is then you'll realize, oh man, I should have been reading the entire time. So now you've kind of messed yourself up with the time frame. So let's roll through real quick, okay? Hair raising problems. Why is that we are so completely obsessive with the hair on our heads? So once again, why is it that we are so completely obsessive with the hair on our heads? So look over here, we're going to try to identify which one that we feel is correct. Now obviously, we don't have enough time in terms of this video to do a Q&A because once a video I can't hear you anyways. So I'm just going to give you the answers and explain why things are right and why things are wrong. So number 1, the best answer is B. In this sentence, the word obsessed is most appropriate to describe the action taking place. The word obsessive can be used as an adjective. The participle obsessing is not appropriate, and obsession is not a word. So answer choices C and D can be eliminated. So remember guys, in a previous video we talked about educated guessing, which what that means is you're not just closing your eyes and randomly pointing and like, oh, looks like I'm going to choose B. No, instead you're going to say, okay, I know B is wrong, I know C is wrong, so you only have to worry about A and D. So you're basically helping yourself in terms of percentages and knowing what it is that, have a better percentage of what you're going to get right. Moving on. Millions of dollars are spent each year on cutting hair, lengthening hair, bleaching hair, straightening hair, curling hair, highlighting hair, and even growing hair. Whatever you can do to hair, someone is willing to pay the money to do it. So looking at number 2, our options are no change, pay, paying money, and have paid. The best answer is G. Answer choice G is the most clear and concise because it simply uses the verb pay. The ACT loves clarity and conciseness, meaning keep it short, keep it simple, and don't lose the meaning. Now, that's not to say that the shortest answer is always the correct answer, because it can still be grammatically incorrect. But as long as it is the shortest one, but it still maintains the meaning, it'll be that more likely than not. So let's see. As it is written, the sentence is wordy and redundant. Willing to pay the money to do it. Well, obviously that's what you're paying with. We don't use a barter system anymore. Answer choice H. Paying money sounds awkward and is grammatically incorrect in conjunction with the phrase that precedes it, is willing to. Answer choice J is written in the past tense, while the rest of the sentence is written in the present tense and therefore must be eliminated. Moving on. Natural redheads long for to be brunettes, and dishwasher blondes dream of shiny golden tresses. As you can see, I do not have any tresses, so I'm using context clues to assume that has something to do with their hair, which is something I appear to be lacking in. Once again, you don't need to know about the vocabulary, so don't get wrapped up in honestly something like the word tresses that is actually relevant to what you're going to be focusing on. So number 3, our options are, should we change it from either no change, to have, to be coming for? The best answer is C. Answer choice C is grammatically correct and makes sense. Answer choices A and B indicate that natural redheads actually want to possess brunettes, which does not make sense and is actually kind of a little bit creepy. Answer choice D does not make sense and is not correct for standard written English. Moving on. Both men and women cringe at the sight of each gray hair, so teenagers enjoy weekly experiments with magenta dyes, spikes, and tangerine streaks. Options are no change, however, yet, and. The first part of the sentence and the second part of the sentence are independent clauses that refer to different hairstyles. Answer choice J is the correct answer, and it makes the most sense here. Answer choice G, however, requires punctuation to fit in the sentence, normally between commas. Answer choice F implies that teenagers enjoy experimenting with hair as a result of men and women cringing at the sight of gray hair. So basically what it's saying for answer choice F is that if you see me with gray hair, all of a sudden it drives you crazy and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to get a mohawk now because he has gray hair. Answer choices G and H imply that the two phrases negate each other. And the last one that we're going to address in this, all of these thoughts cross my mind as I examine the results of my most recent hair adventure. Our options are, once again, no change, result for, result with, result by. The best answer is A. The correct preposition use here is of. Now, if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to stop by my classroom. If you're not sure, look on a map or ask the teacher. I don't want people randomly stopping by my classroom because they see this video on the internet. And we can go over stuff more if you'd like during Pirate Academy or after school. I'm available to help whenever you need. So we'll worry about this a little bit later. The next section we're going to be worrying about too is going to be the reading, writing, math, and science, which will come up in future videos. If you need anything along the way, if anything, comment on the YouTube post. I'll get the email and we'll get you set up. So guys, appreciate your time. Hope this has been semi-useful. So until next time, have a good day.